I truly believe that one of the greatest concepts that you can internalize in this world is the art of not caring, or the art of not giving a. If you truly internalize this, I promise you, your life is going to be so much easier. You're not going to be worrying about all the petty nonsense that everyone else worries about, like, oh, this person is judging me, or oh, do I look cool, or oh, I'm not good enough. So today I'm going to teach you all about this concept. I'm going to show you exactly how to internalize it so that you can become powerful in your own self-esteem and your own personal glory. So let's jump into it. So to make this video concise and easy to navigate, let me tell you exactly what we're going to be covering. First, we're going to define exactly what not caring actually is. Next, I'm going to show you the pros and cons of not caring. And after that, I'm going to show you some strategies to help you stop caring very quickly. And finally, we'll wrap up with a study that shows you some nice statistics and a conclusion with some final thoughts. So let's begin. The definition of not caring or not giving a can be defined as follows. My troublesome assistant, take it away.
Glad to be with you, Chief, and sure, I'll define what not caring is since everyone cares way too much these days. Not caring simply means detaching from the need for external validation, the opinions of others, and the outcomes of situations beyond your control. It's about focusing on what truly matters and letting go of the rest. Not caring isn't about being apathetic or showing no interest, but rather about letting go of unhealthy attachments and societal pressure that plague most people in our society.
That was actually a really good definition.
Thanks. I've been working on that one all week.
Sounds like it, but cool. Now we have our definition. In order to stop caring, we have to learn to let go of attachments to external validation, social pressures, outcomes, opinions of others, etc. Now that sounds pretty straightforward, right? But it's actually a lot harder than you may think, as we've been conditioned and programmed to think this way since birth. So there's a lot of work that has to be done to change our psychology and a lot of unwiring in our psyche that needs to take place in order to achieve this. So what are the pros and cons of not caring? Well, from the pro side, number one, you gain inner strength. Once you stop putting so much importance on external validation, your inner strength will naturally begin to shine through. Next, you gain mental clarity. By not caring and putting so much focus on external pressures, your mind becomes clear of clutter, allowing you to think more clearly and make better decisions in real life. Next, authenticity. You become true to yourself, living according to your values and who you truly are, rather than living through a fake persona and worrying about the opinions and expectations of others. Next, you become more resilient. By not getting bogged down by external pressures, you become more durable to the challenges that you face in everyday life. But that's not all. You increase your confidence, you improve your mental health, you have greater creativity, and you have stronger relationships based on authenticity rather than superficial relationships. This all happens naturally, by the way, by just internalizing this concept and not caring what other people think. Now we're going to cover a couple of cons because I know there's some people out there that's going to take this to the extreme, so I just want to give you some warnings. Assistant, if you please.
I got you, Chief. Some cons of not caring include the following. Some people might misinterpret your not caring as rudeness or insensitivity. If you're doing this just to prove a point or you find yourself acting like an ass for no reason, you've gone too far. You still must have empathy for others who deserve it. Next, you might experience initial discomfort as you adjust, and there's a risk of becoming too detached and losing motivation. If you notice this happening, you must dial it back a bit and readjust. Next, you could damage relationships if you show this attitude to people who don't deserve it. Please keep everything in balance. Don't do extremes.
These cons are a trap that a lot of people fall into, so by being aware of it, you can avoid it before it takes place. So let's look at some practical ways that you can stop caring. And I want to really emphasize that you are not going to magically stop caring once you learn these methods. You have to actively practice them in real life on a daily basis and gather some real life experience. That way, you'll form new synaptic pathways in your brain relating to these concepts, and they'll be reinforced as you take part in this continuous practice. So number one, let go of control. You need to accept that you can't control everything. Focus on what you can control in your life and let go of everything else that is outside your control. The famous wrestler John Cena is known for living by the motto, control the controllable, and whatever else happens will happen, let it be. In other words, change the things you can and accept the things you can't. So let's dive deeper. Let's be honest, there's things that are not ideal in my personal circumstances. There's things that are not ideal in your circumstances. The key thing is this though, if they're controllable, for example, let's say we're overweight, we can control that and make better decisions to lose weight through diet and exercise and thus improve the result or outcome. But things that are outside our control, such as our height, how other people may view us, and who we're directly related to, we can't control that. So in that situation, all you can do is accept it, because objectively, it can't be changed. Now if you try and change them, you're going to put yourself through hell and constant torment. Let's say I'm 3'10" and I really want to be 7 foot. Well, there's nothing I can actually do, is there? So I have to accept it, because that's just the cards I've been dealt with. If I don't accept it, I'm just going to be miserable and depressed and anxious and frustrated forever. So it doesn't make sense. Things you can't control, you must accept. A good healthy practice to help you get this down is to make a list of everything you would like to change that is within your direct control and work on changing them bit by bit. Make another list of everything that can't be changed and make peace with it. Truly accept it. And the funny thing is, once you truly accept it on the inside and make peace with it, it no longer affects you. In fact, it empowers you. So keep that in mind. Our next method for not caring is to practice mindfulness. Use mindfulness to stay present and avoid getting caught up in unnecessary worries in the outside world. So the main technique to achieve this is meditation and presence work. They can help you to detach from outcomes or silly pressures that you're likely to face in everyday life. Meditation can help you shift your focus internally by letting go of internal reactions such as emotional responses and negative thoughts. It can also help you let go of seeking validation from external influences in the outside world. Presence work helps you stay in the moment and not continuously focus on the past or the future. Now this is a very complicated area, so I'm going to leave a video in the description that talks more about this subject. But the short version is this. These practices will improve your focus, reduce anxiety, reduce pinging, meaning you're not constantly looking on the outside for validation from other people, and it even changes your brain structures to reduce your amygdala response and activity. In other words, it reduces your emotional responses, so they're not as, hyperbolic or extreme. Next method, and our favorite assistant can explain this one.
Thanks, Chief. Our next method is to limit social media. In other words, reduce time spent on social media to avoid comparison and external validation. A lot of you out there are comparing yourselves to these fake influencer lives online and then feeling bad when you don't have those same lives yourself. Sure, probably 0.0001% are living a luxury life, but the 99.999% are living the exact same life as you. In fact, most people you see online living these lives are faking it. They've taken a bunch of photos in specific areas and constructed a fake life for themselves online. Don't fall for this. So, limit social media. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is yourself.
Very well said. Our next method is to embrace failure. Understand that failure is a part of growth. Learn from it and move on without dwelling. No matter who you are out there, you're going to fail at some point. That's just part of life. The error most people make is they dwell on the failure or believe they are now a permanent failure and can no longer do what they set out to do. That is the absolute wrong way to view failure. What you should be doing is, you should try and aim to achieve something. And if you fail at it, you step back, you analyze and reflect on what happened and where you went wrong, and then you try again. You keep doing this process over and over again. So try, fail, reflect, etc. until you achieve whatever goal you set out to achieve. You want to fail your way forward to success. Most people can't do that though. They get so butthurt and so psychologically and emotionally traumatized by failing at anything that they don't try it ever again, which is ridiculous. Fail as much times as you can. Just make sure you're learning from it and make sure you're pushing forward with that new knowledge when you tackle that goal again.
Our next step is to seek internal validation. You need to build your self-esteem up as soon as possible. That is the key to internal validation. None of us were taught about self-esteem when we were younger. As a result, we're at the whim of what society and pop culture want us to be, which is never a good thing. That is a recipe for anxiety and depression. In fact, that's the main reason why most people are obsessed with materialistic items. They find temporary joy when they get a new fancy product. Of course, the magic of the new product wears off very quickly, and then they feel like garbage again, leading them to buy a new product. And thus, the cycle of seeking external validation and feeling empty continuously repeats. You need to break that cycle by seeking internal validation. You can do that by working on your identity, your self-worth, your self-efficacy, your boundaries, your values, etc. If you do, you'll stop valuing all this materialistic garbage on the outside and find inner peace. You'll stop caring what others think, and you'll stop seeking their approval or validation as you now have the power to validate yourself. In the ancient Indian text, the Bhagavad Gita, they say if you seek happiness on the outside, you will always suffer. If you seek happiness from within, you will experience happiness and joy. Even Jesus in the Bible stated that the kingdom of God is within you, meaning that true happiness and joy can only be found on the inside, not the outside.
Next step, take action but have no outcome. This was also taken from ancient Indian texts such as the Bhagavad Gita. It says in that book, you have the right to the action when you pursue a goal, but not the actual outcome or goal itself. Remember, in our first point, you can only control the controllable. So you can only control your actions when you're pursuing a goal. Sure, you're going to hope that you achieve the outcome or goal that you're aiming for, but if you don't, then either make peace with it or do our method that we mentioned before, where you fail, reflect and try again. Or if the goal is 100% unattainable and you've tried everything, make peace and move on. Next point, most people out there are full of and there's a lot of fake people out there. Now I know this can come across a bit negative, and to tell you the truth, I don't like saying this, but I have to keep it real with you people. You've probably noticed in modern times, especially these days, that there are a lot of people out there who are fake, selfish and full of crap. Now if you're nodding your head, yeah, I've seen it, so don't worry. On the flip side, there are also good people out there. Now it's true the fake people are probably outweighing the good people quite significantly, but there's still good people out there, so just keep that in mind. So why do I bring this up? Well, most people out there, including you, care way too much about what random people think of you when you're out and about in the real world. If we can agree that most people are either fake or whatnot, I have to ask, why on earth are you going to value the opinions of fake people, rude people, selfish people, etc.? They are the last type of person or people you should be focusing on or paying attention to. Now, the more you see these people in the real world, and you will see them, don't worry. If you do find yourself caring about what they think of you, then you have a self-esteem issue. So you need to work on that. You need to internally validate yourself and not seek external validation for your self-worth. Now, please don't take this to the extreme. You must always be respectful. I don't want you going around acting like a moron. Always be respectful and go into every interaction with good intentions, openness, friendliness, and assuming the person is good. That way, when someone good does actually come along, you'll naturally attract them into your life, and neither you or the person will miss out on each other. Now, on the flip side, if you go into an interaction with good intentions, but notice the person is a scumbag, you must disengage and get away from them ASAP. Give them the cold shoulder, walk away, whatever you want to do. Just don't let them into your personal world. Okay, make sense? Finally, keep things in balance. Please keep things in balance, because I don't want you watching this video then going outside into the real world with the persona of, oh, I don't care about anything, I'm not going to try, or I'm unmotivated because I don't care. That doesn't make no sense. That is stupid. Make sure you keep things in balance. Just don't get attached to anything that causes you negative psychological or emotional distress, okay? So finally, let's have a look at a study, because you know I like a good study. This paper is called The Intrinsic and Extrinsic Goals, Their Structure and Relationship to Well-Being in German and US College Students. And this was done in May 2000 by Peter Schmuck and Richard M. Ryan. They examined a number of students in this setting and found that individuals who prioritized intrinsic goals, so for example personal growth, relationships and community, over extrinsic goals like wealth, fame and image, experienced higher levels of well-being. The focus on intrinsic goals also reduced the impact of social pressures and led to greater life satisfaction. So all of you should be focusing more on internal validation and internal growth, rather than focusing on external materialism and external validation. Make sense? So the practices I mentioned, keep doing them on a daily basis, and over time those synaptic pathways will develop in your brain and these habits will become second nature. You'll just do them naturally. I promise once you get this down, you're going to become so powerful. You're going to be like a Super Saiyan if there's any Dragon Ball fans out there. This really is something all of you must learn and develop. If you want to learn more about detachment and how it can make you even more powerful and stronger, then I recommend you check out this video on the screen right here. It's a really good one. And if you found this video valuable, subscribe and leave a comment below on how you personally stop yourself from caring about the opinions of others or social pressures, etc. The more info we have in the comments, the better it is for everyone who views this video. Alright people, I want to catch you in the next one. Have a good day. Peace.